I've got some really exciting stuff to share with you from HomeSeer today. We've been working on 3 new products: a new wall switch, an upgrade to our ZNET, and a new Zigbee sensor. Hi, my name is John Luke West. I'm the CTO over here at HomeSeer, and I'm going to be trying to get you more information about what is going on a regular basis over here at HomeSeer. So let's jump in and meet these new products, all of which are available for pre-order today. First up is our new WS300 smart switch. Now, if you're familiar with our WS200, this is the next evolution of that design. It's running the 800 series chipset for Z-Wave, meaning it is long-range ready and supports all of the latest Z-Wave features. The biggest change: reliability. We've all been there. You've got your smart home running perfectly, and then you get a brownout or power flickers or something happens power-wise, and suddenly one of your switches stops working. We spent a ton of time making sure the WS300 just shrugs off these power issues and keeps working every single time. It has a 7-color LED you can use for custom notifications, just like all of our older models. We spent some time tweaking the brightness and the color balance of the LED. We wanted to make sure you can see the LED during the day while also preventing it from turning your hallway into a lighthouse in the middle of the night. And I know some of you might be wondering why we went with the WS300 instead of continuing with the WX line. The short answer: manufacturing costs. It just got too expensive to continue to keep it as a viable product. Now, we know that this puts a gap in our product line for dimmers, but the good news there is that we are working on a new dimmer, the WD300. I can't say too much about it right now, but you can expect news on that following the WS300's release. Now, the ZNET Pro. This one is really cool for a few reasons, and probably my favorite one, or the one I'm most excited to announce. The ZNET Pro, this is a pre-release version. It's not got all the nice graphics on the front. It's basically our ZNET G8 plus a USB Zigbee interface all loaded into one single device. So now you can manage both protocols from one hub, Z-Wave and Zigbee. It's smaller than the previous version, as you can see, and it is much better at sending and receiving Z-Wave and Zigbee communications than the G8 is with a smart stick. You might notice that there is no external antenna, and we've been asked about that choice. Here's the thing. We actually get better performance this way, much better. External antennas create this donut-shaped radiation pattern, and that has dead zones above and below it, which generally speaking is not great if you have devices on multiple floors. We can get around this with the sizing of the antenna. It changes the shape of the donut, right? But overall, we found that the inverted F antenna design, which is what is being used in the ZNET Pro, is much better and gives much better coverage throughout your house. The bigger factor here in its performance is the ground plane design. When you're using something like a Raspberry Pi base or some other single board computer with a USB stick, you've got all these high-speed digital circuits like the CPU, the memory, USB controllers, other I/O chips or other capabilities, and they're all sharing the same ground with your RF circuit. All of that digital switching creates additional noise that pollutes your ground reference that is used by the wireless radios. With our purpose-built design, we can separate the digital and the RF sections, keep the noisy circuits away from the sensitive wireless components, and that way we have proper ground plane isolation. This results in a much better RF performance. We've actually tested the ZNET Pro in some conditions where we know the G8 struggles. Particularly, the G8 can't get to the other from one corner of our office to the other. The ZNET Pro can. We're still doing some more comprehensive testing though, but all of our early results are very, very promising. With the new ZNET Pro, we're also leaning more into Zigbee because, let's be real, there are some fantastic Zigbee devices out there that there aren't any Z-Wave equivalents. We want you to be able to do what you want to do with your home. And we don't want your primary controllers or your devices to be any limiting factors. Use the protocols that you want. But speaking of Zigbee, this brings me to the last new product, the DS150ZB door sensor. This thing is tiny, about 40% smaller than our DS100 Z-Wave sensor. You can see how much smaller that is. This means it can fit into much more challenging areas, and it is far more discreet. It's running Zigbee 3.0, and the battery life is solid. We're looking at about a year with normal use. It does use two CR1632 batteries instead of AAAs like our DS100, and these are a little bit less common, but you can usually find them for about the same price. They're about 60 cents each by my research. And frankly, the size reduction is definitely worth it. This fits in some areas that I can't actually put the DS100 in because of like the way doors impact, something like that. I specifically have a closet that I can't use a DS100, but this works beautifully. Anyway, this is actually part of a bigger push that we're doing with Zigbee devices. We're looking into what other Zigbee devices we can add to our product line because, again, like I've been saying, there's just so much good Zigbee stuff out there. And it's often a bit cheaper than Z-Wave. I know we really like Z-Wave, but Zigbee, they each have their pros and cons. And we would like to support both of them. So there you have it. 3 new products that I'm genuinely excited to bring to you. The WS300 for lighting control, the ZNET Pro for managing both your Z-Wave and Zigbee networks, and the DS150ZB door sensor for monitoring. All of these are available for pre-order today. A note about availability and timing. So the WS300 is going through production testing right now. We're making a test run of about 200 to check the manufacturing and the QA processes. They should be ready for you within the next 3 to 5 months. The ZNET Pro is in final testing right now. We have a test set of about 20 units that we are rigorously testing before we move forward with manufacturing. These should also be ready in the next 3 to 5 months. And the DS150ZB is in production right now. You can expect it to be ready within the next month or 2. If you've got questions about any of this, drop it in the comments and we'll try to get back to you as soon as we can. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.